Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. It's Vanessa Petronelli here. This has been quite the week. In doing this video, I feel like I'm coming out of my cocoon. I've been in a state of integration for the past several days since my beautiful soul sisters from my Soul Aligned Success Sisterhood left me on Sunday evening, Monday morning. So I've just been integrating and taking in everything that came from this sacred weekend. And tonight was the first night that I really felt like I could come out of my bubble, my cocoon, and do a live video for all of you. So whoever's there, I would love to see if you could say hi. Thanks for tuning in. So, this topic is actually a topic that I've been wanting to talk about. Hey, Jeepson, yeah! It's a topic that I've been wanting to discuss publicly for a little while. And I have no idea, it just hasn't aligned for me to talk about it until tonight. That's what soul alignment is all about. When you're in the flow, things just come up and the idea is there. And it was not something that I felt compelled to write about. For those of you who've been following my work for a little while, you know I love to write. I love to write these posts that are inspiring and thought-provoking and cause you to take action. And I did not want to talk about perfectionism via writing. I thought it was perfect to talk about it through a live video. So, screw perfectionism. Why screw perfectionism? Well, first things first. Hi, Nick. I have been a recovering perfectionist for many years. Perfectionism, if I have any other perfectionists joining me here tonight, please let me know. I want you to know that you're not alone. Perfectionism has been something that has basically plagued me my entire life. And I'm not trying to judge it, but like any character or trait that we have, there are some very deceptive and shadowy sides to it. And it took me many years to really see and recognize how perfectionism was actually hindering me from having more success, from feeling more fulfilled, and the bottom line, feeling enough. Yeah, I just want to kind of land it there for a moment. Perfectionism is something that I've seen throughout my lifetime, and I'll kind of give you my background around it before I actually go into, a little bit of a mini teaching or a mini masterclass around this. So, being a Virgo, if you're into astrology, perfectionism is sort of embedded into our sign. But I remember as a child being very studious, very driven, very action-oriented, wanting to quote-unquote be the best. And from a young age, I strived for perfection. And when I felt like something was perfect, I basically received rewards and accolades from the people around me, from family, from teachers, from people I looked up to, and equated that when I was perfect, when I strived for excellence all the time, what that meant was I would be receiving love in some sort of capacity. I would be receiving that I was feeling good enough about who I was and who I am. And when you're a child, you obviously don't understand these things, but this started to increase and increase over the course of many years. Into my teens, when I entered into the entertainment industry, and well into my 20s when I was modeling, I was acting, I was in my singing career. And hello to whoever's joining us tonight. So I developed perfectionist tendencies, and it really got embedded into my system, into my psyche, into my awareness, and how I would show up into the world. So much so that it became very unhealthy at times. And for me, when I was in the entertainment industry, it showed up more so in my body image and how I would view myself. I was very, very hard on how I looked. I never felt like, no matter how pretty or attractive or skinny I was, it just never felt like it was ever enough for me. And it made me feel so inadequate. And I started to develop low self-esteem because of it. And so there was always this perpetual cycle, because I feel like there's this cycle that a perfectionist goes through where you're striving for perfection, you're trying to get it, and then even if you do something, you put it out into the world, you show up, whatever it might be, there's still this feeling that it could be better. So if there's anybody that can relate to this, I'd love to hear, because this is a vicious cycle that until it is actually taken under control through your awareness and through your inner work can actually wreak havoc on your life. So I didn't actually start to see that this is playing out in my life until I had embarked on my, spiritual journey, my personal and spiritual growth. I was in my mid-20s. I was exhausted. I was tired of being judged by my body, but mostly judging myself. And it actually was in my yoga path when I studied yoga as a teacher that I started to recognize some of these tendencies and these patterns showing up. And while I opened my business, 8 years ago, my current business doing intuitive success coaching, I started to notice it bleed into my work as well. From really working hard, being afraid of putting myself out there and being seen and visible, and just upholding a certain kind of expectation, if you will, of my own self. It was not typically always from the outside world, although there was some of that I did fear of, like, what will people think if I put that out there, and is it ready? Is it perfect enough? But it was my own self-judgment that really actually left me feeling very disconnected. And when I tasted what it felt like to really feel connected to myself and all the work that I've been doing, and then to feel disconnected, there's such a contrast and gap there that you really do feel misaligned. So that's when I started to put two and two together, and I saw this pattern my entire life around being perfect. And being perfect is something that just doesn't exist. And in having this perfectionist mentality and tendency, what I would do to myself is create really high expectations. Really high expectations. Hi, Jeffrey. Thanks for joining. So I placed these expectations on myself that I would never really truly feel like I was exceeding or meeting. And hi, Christina. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. And it would damage my confidence, my self-worth, my value, sometimes without even knowing it. So that's why coming out of this cycle and recognizing that perfection definitely has a dark side, I started to do some research and I started to do some development around this. I wanted to see, why was I carrying this particular pattern? Why was it showing up for me? And the real reason is because a perfectionist, and this may come across, as a surprise for some of you, maybe it won't, it's coming from love, is really because we're afraid of being seen. We're afraid of being vulnerable. We're afraid of being seen as weak. We're afraid of not feeling, hi Magja, not feeling enough. And the perfectionist tendencies basically cover up our fear of being seen or being imperfect, being judged by others. And the heart of it, I found when I did a lot of this work, was that I was not feeling good enough. If I'm good enough, then I must be perfect. I must be perfect. I must show up as being perfect, or my idea of what perfect is. So this can show up in our personal lives, in our relationships, and this can also show up in our businesses, our careers, our professions. And the reason why I wanted to talk to you today, do a little mini masterclass around this, and if you are a perfectionist, I want to hear from you. If you have some of those tendencies, let's chat on here, let's engage. If you're a business owner and you have these particular tendencies, what I've seen in a lot of the entrepreneurs and business owners that I've coached and I've worked with, even those who are creative, because I work with creative professionals as well, those in the entertainment industry, there's always this energy or this feeling of being hard on yourself. It's never enough. It's not good enough. And what it can typically do is there's always this feeling of not being ready. not being ready, of not being ready to put ourselves out there, not putting our work out there, not being seen, feeling like, oh, I need to go and get more certifications. I need to go to more trainings. I'm not putting those things down. Sometimes we do need to go for more training, for more certifications, and they'll only, add and benefit us. But there are people who are so afraid of not being perfect when they put themselves out there that they'll go through years and years of training and still be hiding. They'll have tons of content that they've been creating, ideas that they want to share with the world, but if they don't feel like it's enough, they will never put themselves out there. Now more than ever, I've said this in my last video that I did last week around, 2017. We have to really watch these patterns, because for those of you who are conscious, soulful entrepreneurs, leaders, people who know that you're here to really put yourself out there to impact the greater good of humanity, if you have this type of tendency, it's absolutely going to stop you from getting to that next level and from being seen. It truly will. Please take it from me, because the self-judgment, the expectations you place upon yourself, and those insecurities that are actually being covered up by this desire to be perfect are exactly what is hindering you and stopping you from moving forward. Hi, Michelle. You've got to get to a place, hi Brenda, where you are okay with being perfectly imperfect, because what does perfect even mean? What does it even mean? Where do we get this idea that we have to be perfect in our looks, in our bodies, in how we show up on video? I'll be frank with you, years ago, I would probably never have been seen with my hair up like this. It's not perfect, it's not long, it's not all perfectly coiffed. I would have been so afraid of how the world would judge me if I showed up not looking perfect in my own eyes. And so there's this bar that is always set so high based on our own definition of perfect, but really, what does it mean? What does that look like? Oh, thank you so much. I believe that our perfection comes from us feeling whole, from us fully accepting who we are. When we have the ability to take imperfect action in our lives, in our businesses, and put ourselves out there, that is what I truly feel is the gift that the world receives. If you're a business owner who really wants to move forward and you're worried about how things are not perfect yet, or if you're feeling you're not ready yet, you don't have the perfect conditions, you're getting paralyzed by fear. You're not going to get your work out into the world. And guess what? When people don't receive your work, your mission, your purpose, people are missing out. Hi, Alti. People are missing out on your gifts, on your creations, and what you're here to do. If you are wanting to do something, take a leap, get out of your comfort zone, and you're waiting for those perfect conditions. And I talk to so many people, in a lot of phone calls, who are like, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to get to that next level. I'm ready to improve my business, my life. And then conditions don't look perfect to them. And they give in to their fears. They give in to their resistance. That is also a perfectionist tendency. We're holding ourselves back. We're holding ourselves back from our greatness, and our greatness does not come from trying to be perfect. Because to somebody who has unresolved perfectionist tendencies, you will never be enough. You will never be enough in your relationships. You will never be enough in your business. You will never be enough in your life, in your world. So that's why it's so important to screw perfection and to get to the heart of what is creating that tendency, what's driving that part of you. Usually it's an insecurity, a fear, or belief system that has you feeling, I'm not enough. Take it from me. I know what that's like. I suffered from it for many years. My perfectionism even bled into me getting burnt out from working out, burnt out from working too hard. If I just give it a little bit more, then it might give. Yeah, not feeling worthy, absolutely. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Jeff. Good to see you here. Thank you for joining. Not deserving, not worthy, not good enough. Wholeness, full acceptance and love for ourselves comes from discovering and knowing who we really are at the core of our being. All of the work that you do, all of the stuff going on outside here in our physical reality cannot compare to the infinite, beautiful, loving, pure consciousness that you are. And you will resolve these perfectionist tendencies when you actually take your focus from all the things you're doing out here and you bring the focus in here. You start to love and accept yourself. You start to take those leaps and those risks. If you don't feel ready, do it anyway. Hi, Kirsty. Good to see you. Perfectionism can take over, and I don't want to see that happen for you. I really, truly don't, because I know what it can do, and it's damaging, and it can take many years of doing our inner work to actually recover from that. And that's what had happened to me. Now, your life journey is very different from mine. But now that I know this, I've gone through this, this is why I want to help you through this. I want to help you see the light around this. So this year, some tips for you to take away from this mini masterclass around screwing perfectionism. Imperfect action. Keep relentlessly showing up in your businesses and in your lives. If things aren't perfect, it's not the perfect condition, you don't have the perfect content, you have the perfect website, you don't have the perfect pitch, you don't have the perfect image, all of those things, just keep taking the imperfect action. It will help you to build your confidence. Stop trying to measure yourself based off of these exceedingly high expectations, my friends. Drop the expectations. When you have high expectations, you become disappointed. When you become disappointed, your whole vibration, your whole being gets sucked out of feeling joy. When you don't feel joy, when you're not feeling good about yourself, it becomes that much more difficult to be magnetic, to draw, to influence, to assist, to receive all of the amazing things that life wants to bring into your life, into your reality. And lastly, you are enough. Your beingness, who you are in this moment, regardless of what's happening in your life or not happening, you are enough. You don't have to jump through hoops all the time. You don't have to have this megawatt personality. You don't have to have thousands of people following you. You don't have to have a perfect body or perfect hair or skin. You are enough. I cannot stress that to you. And if that's the one thing that you can take away from this live video, then I've done my job. And if you're sitting there and you're like, okay, yeah, whatever, Vanessa, I'm enough, yeah. But I got this, I'm like that. I don't have these things in my life. Yeah, sure, Vanessa, whatever. Then your work, your evolution is to uncover and to begin to embody that you are enough. That is some work, but it's the best work that you can do. When you can show up in the world in that way, knowing that you are enough, as you are, as is, and let go of all of those beliefs, all the fears, all of the conditioning that has told you otherwise, that's the sweet spot. Everything else from there in your life, from your business to your finances to your relationships, and truly how you feel about yourself, because at the end of the day, how we feel about ourselves, not how the world perceives us, is what's most important. It truly is. Like that's the heart and soul of our existence, to know that we are enough. And no amount of validation from the outside world, money, clients, customers, hi Ruby, Ruby, can tell you otherwise. No amount of validation is going to make you feel that. You're perfect as you are. As cliche as that might sound. But it's up to you to believe it. Yeah. So this is where I'm going to turn to you, whoever's here and tuning in, my intimate tribe. Thank you, Magja. I feel like that was my channeling. That was my transmission for you this evening. Thank you, Ruby. Amen to you. Amen, sister. Any questions? Any other comments? Anything you want to share about this? You know, I'm here for you in whatever capacity that might look like. And if this message spoke to your heart, especially to my ladies, because the one thing that really exploded for these last women in SAS was knowing that they're enough in everything that they're doing. And my Soul Aligned Success Sisterhood, my SAS program it's like my baby. It is my passion. It is something that lights me up from the inside out. I'm sure you can even see it. I almost don't have words to articulate how important and beautiful this work is. And I really greatly attribute it that this is not just my program. This is the program that moved through me, that was birthed by spirit, by my soul gifting me this to bring into the world. And so I'm calling out to all of the women who are watching this video, if you're on the fence about doing this type of work for yourself and feeling enough and releasing the habits, the conditions, the patterns, the belief systems, the things that are getting in your way from becoming more soulfully aligned to who you really are and creating, designing, living your life from that place, we must connect. I want to hear from you. There's really no more time to waste. I don't want you to have to move through your life anymore feeling that you're not enough, feeling like you have to be perfect, feeling like you're not deserving of the best that love and life and spirit have to offer you. Awesome, Michelle. Yay! I'm so excited for SAS too. I'm so excited that you're in this program. Thank you. Thank you. I've got 6 spots left. And this is not a program that I just welcome anybody into. It's a highly curated program. It's invite only. I will present it to you and invite you into this tribe. I have many women that have come through 3 rounds now. If you are the fit for it, then I will invite you. And I can only invite you if I know you, if I connect with you, heart to heart, soul to soul, through a conversation. And we begin in February, in mid-February. It's coming up soon. So I'd love to hear from you. And if you're not feeling like this might be an opportunity for you, I'll provide more information if you need it. If you want more information, I have a page that you can go to. Just reach out to me and I'll send it to you. But if you think that this might be a really beneficial opportunity and you want to find out more, because I'm not giving you all the information about it now on this video. It's not the whole point of why I did this live. The whole point was to share and channel my transmission and my message to you tonight around screwing perfectionism. But this is an opportunity. This is my offering to you to really fully resolve this. I can help you with that if it calls to your heart. So if you feel like there's another woman in your life that could benefit from this message, from this video, from potentially being a part of my SAS program, my Soul Aligned Success Sisterhood in February, please share this message with them. Please put us in touch. More women need to rise, more women on this planet, more men and women, but this particular program is for women, have to come to that self-actualization and realization of who they are. And that is where all of the goodness of life just starts to flow and radiate out. So my invitation, my encouragement, my ask for you is if you could be kind enough to share this with your tribe or to share this with a special woman in your life, or if you are that special woman, I want to hear from you. Send me a private message. You can type something in the comments and let's get in touch. Just before I go, I just want to read this message here that Magja has sent. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. That's the other thing, caring about what other people think. Absolutely. You know, letting go of other people's judgment or what they think, because at the end of the day, we have no control over it anyways, right? That's why imperfect action is so important, because even if something is perfect, we think it's perfect, people will still have their opinions. Opinions are like butts. Everyone has one. And not everybody's opinion is going to agree with yours or think that what you've put out is perfect or enough. Again, it comes back to you. If you feel like it is, and it's coming from a very wholesome, loving, pure place, that's what matters. So my friends, I have to hop off. I do have a call that I need to go on to that I don't want to be late for. I'm sending you all my love, all my blessings. Sharing is caring. Share this message. Share this with a woman in your life. I hope to hear from you, and I will be back very soon for another live video and another mini masterclass. I love these. The live videos are so fun. It's so nice to engage with you as opposed to just talking to a screen and, you know, the red record button. Okay, take care. All my love. Have a blessed day, night, wherever you are in the world. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. Much love.